Okay, so now let's go to the second chapter, which is about chemical branding and nomenclature as well. So first one, we're going to discuss how do elements form a compound. So we'll be having valence electrons, noble gases, and the idea of its stability, what is considered as an octet rule, formation of ionic bonds, and of course, a covalent bond. So let's discuss first your valence electrons, which are the outer shell electrons. Kagaya nito sa diagram, potassium has a fourth shell. Fourth shell is its last shell or the tawag na outer shell. And on its last shell or outer shell, it only have one electrons. This is called as valence electron. Okay. Another example, fluorine. Fluorine has a atomic number 9. So therefore, it should have a total of 9 electrons. So if you're going to write its electron configuration, it starts with 1s, second by 2s, followed by 2p. So its electron is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. So hanggang 5 lang kasi 2 plus 2, 4 plus 5, 9 electrons into that. And so if you're going to draw its highest energy level is the number before the SPDF value. So its highest energy is actually 2. So that's why it has these two orbitals. On its last orbital, this last orbital is called as the last shell or titawag na outer shell. Sa outer shell niya, it only has 7 electrons. So, 2, 4, 6, 7. So, its valence electron is actually 7. So, how do you counter check? 2s2, 2p5, 2 plus 5 equals to 7. That's why its valence electron is 7. So if you're going to draw fluorine, it should have 7 Lewis dot symbol. Kagaya dito, fluorine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it has 7 valence electron or 7 Lewis dot symbols. Okay? So, your valence can be represented to what group number it is. Kagaya nito, fluorine, even though its atomic number is 9, its total electrons is 9, its valence electrons is 7. And as you can see, fluorine is group number 7. So you should know that group number is also equal to number of a valence electron. Okay, gaya nito, valence electron of hydrogen is 1, group number 1 siya. So that is the purpose of a group number. All of the group number 1 has a valence electron of 1, meaning on its outer shell, they have 1 electrons. As well as group number 3A, si boron, aluminum, gallium, and so on, they all have 3 valence electrons on its outer shell. Okay? Next. So this one is an example. Write the electron configuration and the corresponding Lewis dot symbol of the following elements. Again, find first the atomic number, which is 19. So its total electron should be 19. So if you're going to write the SPDF, you follow the trend na to. So 1S muna, followed by 2S, 2P, 3S, 3P, 4S, 3D, 4P, 5S, 4D taas, 5P, 6S, 4F taas, 5D, 6B, 7S, 5F, 6D, 7P, 8S. So you should also know that S is always 2 maximum, P 6, D is 10, F is 14. Follow nyo tong rule na to ha, the zigzag motion ng electron configuration. So now, if you're going to write, it should have 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Why do we stop at 1? Kasi 2 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 1 is a total of 19 electrons. Okay, the shortcut method is find the nearest. In periodic table, you should find the nearest noble gas. So if this is your K, its nearest noble gas is actually argon. So that's why argon should be written in here. That's why you write argon, and atomic number of argon is 18. So this is the argon part. Then you just write the remaining one, which is the 4s1. So if you're going to draw potassium in E diagrams, okay. So its highest energy level is 4 kasi 4s1, diba? Pinakamataas. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see on its last shell, it only have 1 electron. That's why 1 dito. So if you're going to draw, K has only 1 valence electron. Same as with chlorine. Chlorine atomic number is 17. So its total E or total electrons is also 17. Now you have to draw its electron config. So this is the electron configuration of chlorine. So now let's try which is the nearest for a chlorine. This is chlorine. The nearest one is neon. Why not argon? Again, the nearest noble gas is neon, not argon. Kasi number of a noble gas should be less than with chlorine. And this is 17, this is 18. So it should be less than the chlorine. That's why the nearest one is neon. Okay? So that's why each shortcut method is Ne. Then Ne is around atomic number of 10. That's why you cut off here. This is equivalent to a neon. Then the rest, this should be 3s2. So 3s2, then 2p5. So that is the shortcut method. Okay? So if you're going to draw your chlorine, its highest energy level is 3. So chlorine, 1, 2, 3. On its energy level, its total is its highest energy level is 7. That's why you will see 7 dots. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the S2, 3P5. If you're going to draw Cl, this is the representation. Ganyan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the structure of a chlorine. So this one, kindly try practicing at home. Okay, so your noble gas and the idea of stability. Noble gases are always stable because it has 8 electrons on its valence. However, helium is the only noble gas that doesn't have the octajoule, but it is a very, very stable gas. So if noble gases are stable, how can other elements achieve the same stability, which we call octajoule? Simple. It is by losing or gaining an electron, which we call your ions. So in bonding, one of your element is considered as a cation, one is considered as a anion. So most likely cations are the positively charged. When you say positive, it tends to lose the electron. When you say anion, it tends to gain an electron. Gaya nito, when sodium releases an electron, it becomes a positively charged and it releases the one electron. When chlorine gained that electron, so that's why it becomes now a chlorine negative or the anion chlorine. Okay, so our representative metals will form ions having the same positively charge of the group where they belong. Again, this one. This is group number one. That's why it is a positive one. This is group number two. That's why this has a positive two when it loses the electrons, such as with boron. However, the fourth group, A, can have a positive or negative charge. They can both lose or gain an atom depending on its partner. Then the rest, most of the non-metals, can gain electrons. Kagaya ni nitrogen, group number 5 siya. Kulang siya ng tatlo. That's why it can have a negative 3. Kaya niya kumuha ng tatlo pa. Oxygen as well is group number 6. Kulang siya ng dalawa. That's why it can gain 2 electrons to become a negative 2. And so on. Again, always remember, opposites attract. Positive charges are always attracted to a negatively charged. So both atoms are changed in ionic bonds. This is what we call ionic bonding because this is a bond between two ions, the positive and the negatively charged. So when they form a bond, it is now called ionic bonding. Okay, now let's go to your formation of ionic bonds. This is, for example, if an atom loses an electron, the representation of that is Li, it only have one electron on its outer shell, it can lose it. That's why when it loses Li positive, then plus one of the electron that it loses. If it gains an electron, you write first the electron that it will receive. For example, 1e or electron plus the fluorine that has the 7. Now, you form the fluorine that has the 8 electrons and of course the negative charge. Now, when it forms a bonding, so Li positive plus a fluorine negative. So now it forms the bond which is the LiF or the lithium fluoride. So, kagaya nito, sodium has a total of 11 electrons. So, outer shell niya, it has 1 electron that can be given to your chlorine to become total of 8 electrons on its outer shell. That's why it forms now ionic bonding. So, tawag na dyan, sodium chloride. Kaya nito. Okay, another one type of bonding is the covalent bonds. Covalent bonds usually forms in non-metals, other non-metal. Pwede ding metalloids and non-metals. Remember, ionic is only for metals and non-metals. Kasi metals are always positively charged, non-metals are negatively charged. Two ions yan. However, covalent bonds, it is between non and non-metal or metalloids and non-metals. Okay? This one is what you call transferring of electrons. Si ionic is always transfer of electrons from a positively charged to a negatively charged. Covalent is what you call sharing of paired electrons. Both of them satisfy the octet rule, meaning both of the atom or both of the element will have that 8 electrons. Unlike this one, in ionic, only the non-metal will form the 8 electrons. This one, both of them. Okay? So, kagaya nito, usually, you have a separated atom such as hydrogen and another hydrogen. When their orbitals touch and they form bond with one of their electrons or two of their electrons and so on, they can have what you call covalent bond. This is just a sharing of electrons. So, tatandaan, in covalent bonds, usually They can be formed in identical molecules or different types of atoms. So, either of the two types. These are the examples of a covalent bonds. So, always remember ionic metals and non-metals lang. The one that receives the electron will satisfy the 8 electron. Mostly, these are the non-metals. This is a process of transferring electrons. While this one covalent, this is between non-metal and non-metalloid or and a non-metal. This is called sharing of electrons. Usually, this is both satisfying the 8 electrons or the octatriol. Pati rin to 8. Sige, I'll give an example. If you're going to draw fluorine to fluorine, if you're going to count, si first fluorine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 electrons. Draw natin, count natin si another fluorine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons din siya. First one, check if it is a metal or non-metal. Hydrogen is considered as non. Oxygen is considered as non. So, this is between non and non. That's why this is a covalent. Another one, this one. Sodium is metal. Chlorine is non-metal. So, therefore, this is ionic. Another example. Stage 4. Hydrogen is a non-metal. Carbon is a non. So, this is covalent. Isa pa. This one. N to N. Nitrogen is non. Nitrogen is non. So, therefore, this is covalent. MgO. MgO. Mg is metal. Oxygen is non-metal. That's why this is called as ionic. Okay? The rest gawin sa bahay on your own. Chemical writing. So, one of the topics under chemical writing are the chemical formulas and nomenclature of ionic compounds, binary covalent compounds, and as well as teaching you how to write chemical equations. Okay, so the first one is the chemical formulas and nomenclature of compounds. So ionic compounds are compounds that made up of ions that are formed when atoms donate, one of the atoms donate, and its partner receives an electrons. So one of the atom is called as a cations. Remember from the third term itself, cat, sa Tagalog, pusa. So, di ba ang pusa, meron silang kamay. Ang tawag sa kamay nila ay paws. So, cations are positively charged atoms or molecule. And of course, its partner is an anions, which are negatively charged atoms or molecules. Okay? And you also have to remember that cations, the positively charged atoms, are the one who loses its electron. Sabihin, nagbibigay. Okay? Cations, positive, opposite of the positive means it loses electron. While as anions, it is the one who receives the electron. Saan nanggaling yung electron niya? Galing sa cations. Kung ano yung inalis ni cation sa sarili niya, which are electrons, tatanggapin ni anions. And it becomes a negatively charged particle. Okay? Naming ion compounds is usually based on the cation's name, followed by the anion's name. We have two types of ionic compounds. These are your binary ionic compounds. So, ionic compounds form from just two elements. Okay, tatandaan when you say binary, two. Two elements. Yung mga nakikita nyo sa periodic table, those are elements. Combination of two elements, these are called binary ionic compounds. But remember, binary ionic compound should be a combination of a metal and a non-metal. Okay? Remember that ha? One metal and one non-metal. Okay? And it always ends with IDE. Next, ternary compounds. These are ionic compounds formed from a combination of two or more elements. So they have a variety of suffixes other than "ine." So this one, we will elaborate later. Another one, ternary compounds, mas mataas sa 2, ternary, meaning more than 2 elements. Okay? Ang tawag doon is ternary compounds. So, there are variety of suffixes other than the IDE. So, later we will see what are those suffixes. Cations formed from metal atoms bears the name of the metal itself. Okay, for example, metal lang yung, isang metal lang yung nakita nyo. Usually, guys, cations are metals. Metals tend to lose electrons. That's why they tend to be positively charged. So, yung mga nakikita nyo sa periodic table na metals, including hydrogen, which is a special element, tanda na, including hydrogen, which is a special element, they tend to lose an electron. That's why they are called cations, which are also positively charged. Kapag wala silang kapartner and they are cations, ang pangalan nila, its name should be what is written in the periodic table. Si K, ang pangalan niya sa periodic table ay potassium. Meron siyang positively charged, that's why it is down called as potassium ion. Pangalan nito sa periodic table ay sodium. It has a positive charge, that's why its name is sodium ion. Again, regardless the number of charges, ma'am here, this one is positive 1. Ito po, positive 2. Ito, magnesium, positive 2. Si lead, may positive 4. Regardless the number of the charge, ion should be the name. Wala ka na ilalagay na mono ion, binary ion, walang ganon. Okay? So, regardless the charge, ang name niya is name of its element on the periodic table plus the word ion. Okay. Some metals can have more than one charge. Okay. Kung mapapansin nyo, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium only have one charges sa periodic table. However, there are elements that have two charges. Actually, two or more charges. For example, iron. Si iron, kakabisaduhin to ha. Kabisaduhin. Just like iron. Iron, it is written in the periodic table that its charges are positive 2 and positive 3. Since it has two charges in the periodic table, unlike this one, si potassium ay laging positive 1 lang. Yun lang yung nakasulat sa periodic table. This one, iron, has two charges. So, therefore, you use the Roman numbers. Okay? Kung positive 2 siya, ay di iron 2 ion. Kung positive 3 siya, iron 3 ion. Just like copper, si copper ay positive 1 and positive 2 charges, ay di copper 1 ion. And as well as copper 2 ion. We can use Roman numeral. We can also use suffixes such as us and ik. Us sa lowest charge. Please do remember ha. Us is for the lowest charge. Ik for the highest charge. And we use the its Latin name. Okay? This is iron 2 ion. This is iron 3 ion in Roman. However, another way of naming is by the us and ik. Since iron 2 is the lowest charge, ang pangalan niya ay ferrium, papalitan mo lang ng us, ferrous ion. Mas mataas si 3 plus kaysa kay 2 plus, that's why siya ay si ik ion or ferric ion. Okay? Copper 1 is cuprous ion, mas mababang charge si 1, mas mataas na charge si 2, kaya cupric ion. Okay? Tatandaan po yan. Ano pa ba? Actually, lead. Si lead ay positive 2 and lead positive 4. Ang Latin name ng lead, tatandaan to ha, is plumbum. So, since this is the lowest charge, ang pangalan niya ay plumbus. This is higher charge. This one is plumbic. Okay, what is the Roman name? This is lead 2 ion. And this is lead 4 ion. Okay? Next. There are also cations formed from non-metal atoms that have a suffix -um. This is only pertains to hydrogen actually. Hydrogen plus a special element that tends to lose an electron as well becomes positively charged or nag-lose na siya ng electron, it becomes hydronium ion. Another special case is the NH4 positive. Its name is ammonium ion. Again, let's have a recall. Cation single charges metals are called as its element's name and the ion word. While there are metals that have 2 charges, so we use Roman numerals. And it can also be named by its Latin name plus us or the ik word or suffix. Kung sino yung mas mataas na charges. Us, lowest charge. Ik, highest charge. And special cases natin are the hydrogen plus, which is the hydronium ion, and H4 positive, which is the ammonium ion. So let's now go to monoatomic anion, which have a suffix -ide. For example, kanina we've discussed that cations, for example, it is named by its element name plus ion. Here in an ion, so we use element name plus IDE plus ion. Okay, for example, this is hydrogen negative. Hydrogen becomes a negatively charged high from the word hide in the hydrogen name plus IDE and the ion, it becomes hydride ion. Okay? O2 negative, again, regardless the charge, element name plus IDE plus ion, oxide ion. Si chlorine, naging negative charge siya. So from the word itself, fluoride, it becomes now chloride ion. Si bromine, this is bromine. It becomes -1. So regardless the charge, it is called now as bromide ion. Okay, now let's go to polyatomic anions. With oxygens are called oxyanions. When you see oxyanions, here an ion has an oxygen partner. Okay? They usually bear the suffix ATE. Tandaan ha, anions, usually non-metals, plus an oxygen, it is now called oxyanions. Usually, its suffix is ATE or nag-end yung name sa ATE ion or 8 ion. And sometimes, suffix ITE ion. Only if it has a lesser oxygen. Okay? ATE, mas madaming oxygen. Lesser oxygen is the ITE. Okay. For example, I have NO3 negative, NO2 negative. Kung mapapansin nyo, the number of atoms ng una natin is 3. This is 3 oxygen. Etong ikalawa, the second one has 2 oxygen. So, both of them has nitrogen. So, its name should have nit. Okay? And of course, the lesser oxygen should be called as ITE ion. So, its name now is the nitrite ion. Yung mas mataas is, so, the following are the common oxyanions that you have to remember. Special case, ito, at saka itong dalawang to. Carbonate ion, it does not have any I counterpart. We do not have a carbonate ion, only carbonate ion. So, isa lang ang oxyanion ng carbon with oxygen, which is the carbonate or the CO3 2 negative. This 3 has I counterpart. So, this is NO3, this is nitrate, bawasan mo ng isang oxygen, NO2, copy the charge, ang pangalan na niya ay nitrite. Same as well with phosphate, copy the P, copy the oxygen, last one oxygen, which is 3, then the charge, then copy the charge, which is 3 negative. Now it becomes nitrite ion. Same as well with SO4 2 negative and sulfate. Copy the S, copy the oxygen, lesser oxygen, so 4 minus 1, 3. Copy the charge. Now it becomes the sulfite ion. Okay? Another special case of oxygen ions is the chlorine with an oxygen. Actually, apat to. Okay? So, we have the ClO negative, ClO2 negative, ClO3 negative, and the ClO4 negative. And the chlorate ion is the ClO3. This is chlorate ion. Okay? Si chlorate, bawasan mo ng isang oxygen, copy the charge, ay na, diba? This is now becomes chlorite ion. Si chlorite ion, na 2 atoms, bawasan mo ulit na isa, its name will have a hypo. Okay? So, this is hypochlorite ion. Another one, si chlorate natin, which has 3 atoms. We add another one, so it becomes ClO4. Its name now will have a per sa pangalan niya. So, its name is perchlorine. Okay? So, pakitandaan to ha. I have iodate. Iodine with oxygen 3 negative 1. Its name is iodate. Iodate, less 1 oxygen, it becomes iodine O2 negative 1. So, it becomes iodide. Maglas ka pa ng isang oxygen, IO negative 1, becomes hypoiodite. Now, iodate, which has 3 atoms of oxygen, add another 1 oxygen, it becomes IO4 negative 1. Again, if it is the highest number of oxygen, you write per, then the 8. So, per iodate. Pwede din si bromate. BRO 3 negative 1. This is bromate. Add 1 oxygen, it becomes BRO4 negative 1. So, this is per bromate. So, si bromate na BRO3 negative 1, mag-less ng 1 oxygen, it becomes BRO2 negative 1. So, it becomes now bromite. Last na ulit, BRO 1 oxygen, negative 1. This now becomes hypobromite. Okay? So, remember these types of common oxyanions, ha? Okay, next. Okay, this one, I've discussed kanina that some oxyanions can be extended to 4, just like chlorine. So, chlorine can be chlorate, can be chloride, can be hypochlorite, can also be perchlorate ions. Just like your iodine and of course your bromine. Third rules derive in adding hydrogen to an oxyanions. By adding as a prefix the word hydrogens bi or dihydrogen. For example, we have carbonate, the CO3 2 negative. If we add a hydrogen doon, okay, so it becomes hydrogen carbonate. Pwede rin siyang tawaging bicarbonate. So what happens to its product? Okay, if a hydrogen combined with your carbonate, okay, just copy the hydrogen, copy the carbon, copy the oxygen and the number of atoms. This is positively charged. This is negatively charged. So, negative 2 plus a positive 1, it becomes negative 1. So, ang final product natin dito is the HCO3 negative 1. That's why it is now called hydrogen carbonate or pwede ring bicarbonate. Okay? Next. Another one, we have phosphate, which is the PO43 negative. You add a hydrogen. Just copy the hydrogen, copy the phosphorus, copy the oxygen and number of atoms. Then, negative 3 charge plus a positive 1, it becomes 2 negative. That's why HPO4, 2 negative. Ang pangalan niya ay hydrogen phosphate. Okay? Pwede rin siyang tawaging biphosphate. Okay? On. Your hydrogen phosphate, pwede pa tayong mag-add ng hydrogen because we still have a higher charge. So, now it becomes H plus H, it becomes 2 atoms, kaya H2. Copy the phosphorus, copy the oxygen and number of atoms. Then, we add the charges. Negative 2 plus positive 1, it becomes negative 1. Okay, this is now called dihydrogen. Why is it called dihydrogen? Because you now have 2 atoms ng hydrogen. Okay, so buong pangalan niya is dihydrogen phosphate. Okay. So this is the summary of all the names of anion and cations. Just simply follow the rules. If it is a cation, an ion, if there are multiple charges sa cations, what happens? If it is an oxyanion, what happens if it can extend to four versions of oxyanion. What happens if it has a hydrogen added? Okay, so you just have to memorize and follow the rules. Okay, so since we already know the name of ions, we can now make ionic compounds. So ionic compounds are made by combining cations and anions. Cations, which are positively charged, and anions, which are negatively charged, which in right proportions, or there will be no charge in its final form. Kasi nga, positive plus a negatively charged, it becomes a neutral compound. So the right proportion of cations and anions can be easily obtained by crisscrossing their number of their charges. Okay, for example, we have a sodium ion which has a positive 1 and a positive, and we have a chloride ion which has a negative 1 charge. Okay, so this is what you call crisscross method. I used to call it as a charge to atom. Okay, so we're going to start from the charge, then we will crisscross to become it as a atom. Okay, so for example, Na positive 1, chlorine negative 1. The charge of your sodium ion will be given to chlorine as the number of atom. That's why it becomes Cl1. And the charge of your chlorine, which is negative 1, it will be given to the sodium as a number of atom, which is also 1. That's why when you count the number of atom, it is Na1Cl1. It can also be called as NaCl. If the number of atom is 1, it can be negligible. Ibig sabihin, pwede na siyang hindi isulat. Since this is sodium ion, you remove the word ion. This is chloride ion, you remove the word ion also. So its new name is sodium chloride. Next, another one, what if they have different charges, ma'am? For example, we have calcium ion. This is calcium ion. This is bromide ion, so Br2. Br negative 1. So this is bromide ion. Okay, again, crisscross method, charge to atom. Positive 2 of your calcium will be given to bromine as number of atoms. So it becomes Br2. Negative 1 of bromine will be given as atom for calcium. So it is 1. So it is Ca1Br2. 1 is negligible. Pwede nang hindi isulat. So it becomes CaBr2. Again, ang pangalan nito kanina is calcium ion. We remove ion. So it becomes calcium. Bromide si Br kanina. So we remove the word ion. It becomes now bromide. So the whole name of this ionic compound is calcium bromide. Another example. This is barium ion. Yung 2 niya, ibibigay ko yung oxygen. It becomes O2. Si oxygen, 2 negative, ibibigay kay barium, kaya Ba2O2. In this case, both of the atoms are divisible. So, if it is divisible, you can divide it. Okay? So, divide by 2, it becomes Ba1O1. Negligible na yung 1, pwedeng hindi sulat. That's why BaO. Okay? So, this is barium ion kanina. Remove ion. It becomes now barium. This is oxide ion. Since it becomes ionic compound, we remove ion. The whole name for this one is barium oxide. Okay, how about compounds that are composed of ammonium ions and also a oxyanion? Since your hydronium has a charge of positive 1, this whole positive 1 will be given to the whole oxyanion. And then 3 negative of the phosphate will be given to the whole ammonium ion. Okay? For example, we have NH4 positive 1 and the PO4 3 negative. Okay? So the positive 1 of the NH4 will be given to the whole compound of PO4 as atom. So PO4 parenthesis to indicate na nasa whole sa buong compound, indicate yung atom. Same as well with 3, ibibigay kay NH4. So, NH4 also, parenthesis, 3. Since negligible na yung 1, pwede tanggalin, pwede nyo isulat as NH4, 3, PO4. Okay? So, this is ammonium ion. You remove the word ion. So, this is ammonium. This is phosphate ion. You remove the word ion. That's why the whole name for this compound, ionic compound, is ammonium phosphate. Okay? Okay, so these are some of the exercises that you could do on your own sa bahay. So, for the first one, you have to name the following compounds. For the second one, you have to identify the molecular formula. Okay? So now let's discuss the formulas of acids. Acids are ionic compounds whose ion is solely hydronium ion or H+. Okay, for example, your fluorine has a charge. It only has negative 1 charge. Therefore, hydrogen, which is a hydronium or positively 1, fluorine only needs 1 hydrogen. Since it has a negative 1 charge and hydrogen has a positive 1 charge to become an acid or a neutral compound, which is HF. Okay? So, si fluoride ion natin, if it has an added hydrogen, becomes HF. Bakit siya naging HF? H plus F negative. Criss-cross. Diba? So, H1F1 can also be written as HF. So, neutral compound na siya. So, if it is now an acid, acid name should have a hydro and ic acid sa suffix niya. Okay? So, ang pangalan ni HF is hydrofluoric acid. Same as well with chloride ion. Cl negative, H positive. Criss-cross, H1Cl1. So, can also be written as HCl. So, acid na siya, kaya hydrochloric acid. Same with bromide, hydrobromic acid. Cyanide ion, it becomes hydrocyanic acid. Okay? So, acid whose anions with suffix 8 and I are named by changing 8 to ic and I to us, followed by the word acid. Okay, so these are the extendable oxyanions. Instead na yung mga ite, 'di ba? This is chlorite. This is also hypochlorite. Pag ite, it becomes us. This becomes hypo-us. Kung mapapansin, ClO negative, naging HClO. It is now termed as hypochlorous acid. Same with chlorite ion. dinagdagan to ng hydrogen, nawala yung negative, becomes HClO2. It is now called as chlorous acid. Your 8 should be written as ic acid and per-ic acid as well. So, si HClO3, nadagdagan ng hydrogen, nawalan ng negative charge, HClO3, it becomes chloric acid. Si perchlorate mo, nadagdagan ng hydrogen, natanggalan ng charge, it has now become HClO4 or the perchloric acid. Same as well kay bromine kanina, perbromic acid, bromous acid, hypobromous acid. Okay? Now, let's discuss bases. Bases are ionic compounds which an ion is wholly hydroxide on its name. Tandaan, hydrogen, acid, OH, indicating that your compound is a base. Okay? Hydroxide. Kagaya nito, barium 2 plus, since it has 2 charge, it needs also 2 atoms ng hydroxide to become barium hydroxide. How? So, for example, Ba2 plus hydroxide, 2, bigay kayo hydroxide. That's why there are 2 atoms of hydroxide. Then, of course, your Ba as 1 atom. This is barium ion. This is hydroxide. So, ang pangalan niya is barium hydroxide. Okay. So, there are rules in naming, especially the cations that have 2 charges. Okay, for example, si ferrous saka si ferric. We retain the term ferrous and ferric. Also, the Roman name, which is iron 2 and iron 3. You just have to add the word hydroxide since it has OH already. Okay? Let's try. Fe3 plus, then hydroxide. 3 bigay kay OH, so it becomes OH3. 1 bigay kay Fe, kaya it becomes FeOH3. Mas mataas ang charges ni Fe3 plus, that's why this is the ferric. Ang pangalan niya ay ferric hydroxide or iron 3 hydroxide. And yung isa, yung mas mababa, si ferrous hydroxide. Okay? Same as well kanina, sodium plus hydroxide and NaOH, it becomes sodium hydroxide. There are cases that your ionic compounds are hydrates, meaning it has specific number of water molecules. Remember, water is H2O. Okay? We use prefixes hydrate and the number of water molecules. If it is 1, it is mono, 1 mono, 2 di, 3 tri, 4 tetra, 5 is penta, 6 is hexa, 7 is hepta, 8 is octa, 9 is nona, 10 is deca, and the word hydrate. Kagaya nito, this is barium chloride. Then it has 2 water molecules. So, 2 means di. That's why its name is barium chloride dihydrate. This is copper sulfate and 5 molecules of water. So, 5 means pentahydrate. So, ang pangalan niya is copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate or cupric sulfate. Ma'am, bakit cupric siya? I-check nyo pa din if si copper ay merong dalawang charges. So, check nyo kung mas mataas or mas mababang charge siya. Now, let's go to binary molecular compounds, which are covalent molecules, which 2 elements only. When you see covalent molecules, which both of them are non-metals, combination of 2 non-metals. such as CO2, carbon and oxygen are non-metal. Sulfur and oxygen are non-metal. Nitrogen and oxygen are non-metal. Okay, how do we position the atoms in writing its molecular formula? The name of the element farther to the left of the periodic table is usually written first. If it is contains oxygen, we write the oxygen as the last. Okay, when you see farther left, ito kasi yung periodic table natin. Usually, these are the metals. These are the metalloids. These are the non-metals. Farther left, banda dito. Okay? So, if the position of the element is on the farther left of the periodic table, it is written first. And susunod yung mga nasa right side na ng periodic. And always remember, oxygen should be written last as always. Okay? Kagaya ni H2O. Si H2O is group number 1. Meaning, nandito siya sa farther left. And kasama niya is oxygen, should always be written as last. That's why it is written as H2O, but not OH2. Same as well, ClO4. ClO4 is on the farther left ng periodic table. So, oxygen should be written as last. So, ClO4 negative, but not O4Cl. Okay? If both elements are on the same group of the periodic table, write the heaviest element first. For example, SO2 is written in that way kasi S is heavier than oxygen. Mas mabigat si sulfur kaysa kay oxygen in terms of its molecular weight. Kung titingnan yung weight ng sulfur kay oxygen sa periodic table, mas mabigat siya. That's why it is written first than the oxygen. Okay? So now we know the order in element in writing binary molecules. We name the second element with an ending "ide". Kapag binary, non-metal to non-metal, yung pangalawang atom mo uses prefixes IDE and the word mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, and so on. Another condition, if the second element's name begins with a vowel such as oxide, we drop the A or O in the prefix. Do not use mono prefix for the first element. Okay, for example, this one. So, these are binary molecules. Ibig sabihin non-metal. Kapag non-metals, we use prefixes IDE and the term and the prefixes mono, di, tri, tetra, and so on. On the first and the last element, parehong gumagamit ng prefix na mono, di, tetra, penta, hexa, and so on. However, there's a condition na kapag yung first element ay one atom only, hindi nagagamit ng term na mono. Okay? Again, gagamit lang ng term na mono sa second element. And the rest, di, tri, tetra, pwedeng gamitin sa first and the last. Okay? For example, NF3. This is nitrogen. Isa lang siya. So, we will not call it as mononitrogen. Kasi first element siya. So, ang tawag lang sa kanya ay nitrogen. Then, your second element is a fluoride ion. So, meron siyang 3 atoms, kaya siya ay nitrogen trifluoride. Okay? Again, tatandaan ha, yung mga prefixes na to is only for the binary or the non-metal to non-metals. We also have Cl2O, which are the dichlorine. This is chlorine, dalawa. That's why dichlorine, meron siyang oxygen, kaya isa lang, again, nasa second element. Since it is second element, it is okay to use mono. That's why ang tawag sa kanya, dichlorine monoxide. Okay? Not monoxide ha, kasi, again, if it begins with a vowel, you drop the O or the A. Sabihin yung term na mono, tapos may katabi siyang oxide, drop na yung O sa prefix natin, kaya tawag sa kanya monoxide. Okay? Same with tetra. So, tetra, tas oxide pa siya, you drop the A. Pangalan niya is tetroxide. Okay? O, kagaya nito, this is N2. So, dinitrogen. This is oxide. Apat, tetra. So, drop the A sa tetra, then tetroxide. Okay? You also have P4, tetraphosphorus. You have sulfide, 10 yun. So, decasulfide. Okay, now let's try to write chemical equations. Okay, a chemical reaction is a process in which a substance is transformed into another substance. Meaning we have reactants and you have your products. And tawag, these are called chemical formula. The parentheses indicates the states of the matter. Is it a gas? Is it a liquid? Is it, diba kapag S, it's solid. Pag L, it is liquid. Kapag ka naman G, it is a gas. Kapag naman AQ, meaning it is aqueous. Okay? So, also, this one, subscript, these are the number of atoms. Coefficients also are the number of molecules natin. Okay? The arrow corresponding if it is irreversible or irreversible reaction also. Kapag nakita nyo isang arrow lang, forward lang siya, this is called as irreversible. Meaning your reactants will only turn to a product. When you see this type of arrow, half up and half down, this is called the reversible reaction. It has both of the forward and the backward reactions. Meaning your reactants can turn to products, your products can degrade and turn back to reactants. Okay, for example, we have calcium hydroxide. So we all know calcium is positive 2, diba? Sa periodic table. Ca2 positive. Hydroxide is always negative 1. So, i-crisscross natin, that becomes calcium hydroxide or the CaOH2. So, reacts with meaning plus. Okay? So, you write down CaOH plus HCl. 2, yung word na 2, meaning it produces, it yields. Yung word na 2 is corresponding to the arrow. Okay? So, ano yung naging products niya? Ano yung pinreduce niya? You have the calcium chloride. Remember, calcium is positive 2. Chlorine or the chloride ion is negative 1. So, calcium 2 plus, crisscross natin. That's why you got CaCl2. So, your products are CaCl2 plus water. So, this is now your chemical reaction. However, you have to balance this, ha? Okay? So, you have to remember your discussions in high school chem, how to balance a chemical equation. So, another words na nasa reactant siya, na ang corresponding sign niya ay plus, I reacts with, combusted with, combined with, the reaction between, Ano yung term na ang corresponding niya is the arrow sign? To produce, to yield, to form, decomposes, to produce. Tatandaan yan. Okay, so this is an exercise for you. Gagawa niyo siya ng chemical uh, reaction or equation at on your own face. Okay? So, gawin to sa bahay pag-practicean. Okay? So, this is the last part of the module 1.